Round two, let's go. Round two, let's go. Life is definitely lifing today. Y'all double tap them screens, subscribe to the channel, and let's go. Sometimes things just happen. Life is definitely lifing for everybody today. Oh shit. What is up? What is up? What is up? Everybody come on in, join the live, and let's go. Welcome into the chat. Please double tap them screens as you come in. Check out the content and sub to the channel. What is up, Taco? Double tap them screens, guys. Ah, shit. Horse shit. There we go. What is up, brother? What is up? What is up? What is up? People will be in just a minute, Taco. I had to end the other live. I had somebody show up. What is up, Rack? Looks like you're gonna be lonely tonight. Why you say that, Taco? Liam, how are you, brother? How you feeling today, Liam? Hope everything's going good. Physical therapy went well. You feeling well? Hope everything's going great, or as good as can be. Sorry about having to end the live so abruptly a few minutes ago. I had somebody pull up and I had to handle some business. What's good, Brookside? I am back in the house. Physical therapy, I shattered my kneecap. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, Liam. We'll still keep you in our prayers. Keep it going. What's up, guys? What's up? Sorry about having to leave so early on the last live. I had somebody pull up. I had to handle some business with them. Now I'm back. Hopefully, life will quit lifing for a little while and I can actually have a live that something doesn't go wrong in. I actually went and got a lighter that works. No shit though, when I told you I lit off of my finger, look, I burnt the hell out of my damn finger lighting that cigarette off of my finger earlier. I have no feelings in my hands, so I literally, when my finger lit on fire and I lit the cigarette, I blistered the hell out the whole finger right there. Yep, I got a lighter with a flame and it's blue. I got a blue, not a Prius blue, but a blue. What's up, fellas? All packed up, gun walls down, all stuff's packed up, ready to go. Fuck, I hate this. Sorry to bring this into the chat. Bro, you can bring it into the chat. It don't matter to us, Jansen. We bros, man. If you feel like talking about it, we'll talk about it. If you don't feel like talking about it, we won't. Just ain't trying to push, past no boundaries or nothing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to keep their stuff quiet. Some people want to talk about it. But that's what we here for, bro. Serafina, what is up? Keep putting out that music, girl. That shit rocking. Y'all, if y'all haven't checked out her new video, go check it out. That's what I'm saying. We all here, bro. But once again, sometimes you have to do that, chance, and sometimes I would advise against it, and sometimes I advise for it. But as long as you got two people willing to work on it, bro, you'll make it through. like I said, that's what we're here for, and it's for anybody, man. This is so much more than a gun channel. Um, that's what gets me when people come in here and no, we're so much more than that. We're here for each other. These guns can go to hell, man. Y'all's mental state, y'all's physical state means far more to me than any of this. But I'll tell you this from a therapy side. There's no problem that can't be worked through as long as you got two people willing to work on it. There's no barrier that can't be knocked down, no door that can't be gone through. It can all be done if you're willing to. Now, see, that's the difference. If you're willing to and if you're going to. And that's from a therapy standpoint. Yeah, yeah. I got you, Serafina. And that's what you do, man. And like I said, we all come in, we all have issues, we all face our giants daily. We all have to face our own giants, our own demons, our own selves. And a lot of times, taking a look at yourself is the hardest thing you're ever going to do. But until you find yourself, you can't properly love nobody else. A lot of addicts, that's why they never last. They get together when they're in active addiction. When they get clean, they don't know each other. They only knew who they used to be. So then they find out they had nothing in common. A lot of times, the only thing they had in common was the addiction. That's why none of that ever lasts. That's why they tell you when you're in the process of trying to get sober, not to get in a relationship for at least 2 years so you can find yourself again. I'm trying not to go full on preacher or therapist with you guys, but that's just how that works. If only life was that black and white, right? Focus, brother. Yes, Tom. Actually, I did. I had $1,000, and I don't mind talking about it. I had $1,000 a day powder cocaine habit. I walked away with no rehab, no anything, because I faced what was inside, and I didn't use excuses. That's the biggest thing. I recognized something in me wasn't right. I needed a change, and I needed a change right then. Then sometimes you got to change your people, places, and things. That's another thing you learn. Yep, I've been there, and I have a daughter who's there now. I got a daughter who's strung out on fentanyl and methamphetamines right now as we speak. And the sad part, I can give y'all advice all day long. I can give other people advice all day long. But when it comes to my own daughter, I have a barrier. I just cannot reach her. And that's the biggest thing that bothers me daily. That I can reach so many people, but I can't reach my own child. And that eats me up daily. But I still get by every day with a smile. Because I know there's somebody stronger than me that can do it. We just got to put our faith in him. I joke around, I kid around, I cuss a lot, I do all that stuff. But you know, bottom line, end of the day, I still care for people, and people will always be my number one passion. I love to see people get places in life, succeed in life. I put myself aside to watch other people succeed. That's just how I've always been. Because if anything I learned in my messed up life and my screwed up walk, if it helps any one of y'all succeed, it's all worthwhile. And we all got to see that's the part. Us as a human race, we're one big puzzle. And it takes all of us coming together to complete that puzzle. You got a little bit of info, they got a little bit of info, and all of that coming together completes us. And the sooner we realize that, the better this world will be. No one person has all the answers, but all of us together have a pretty good idea. This live wasn't meant to be a counseling session, but hey, if that's what it needs to be, let's do it. I mean, that's how I feel. And I appreciate everybody commenting. I appreciate all y'all. I tell y'all that all the time, how much y'all mean to me. Yep. And times are going to get harder and harder and harder. The moral compass has been lost, guys. It's been thrown out the window. People are too quick to quit, reset, and think the grass is greener on the other side. Well, do you know why that grass is so green on that other side? Because you didn't take time to water the grass on your own damn side. You didn't put the fertilizer and the nutrients on your own side, so you're staring at the neighbor's yard who put in the work on their side, and you think it's greener over there, but it's not. It's an illusion. You're going to go over there with that same toxicity, and you're going to kill that grass too. But we got y'all's back, man, and we got each other's back, and we all we have, and that's a good thing. And the beautiful part about YouTube, this love worldwide, folks. We ain't just going in a city, we going worldwide with this. But yeah, sometimes you got to step back and look at yourself, and you got to evaluate yourself, and then you go out broader. Oh, you can win it. There, as long as you're breathing, you're still in the fight. As long as you wake up, and you hear me say this from time to time, as long as you wake up, that's a new day that you can be anybody you want to be. No matter how old you are, how young you are, every day you wake up is a new day. And everything you do is called the past for a reason. You've done gone through it. You're past it. The next day is something else. Yep, a good community builds it. In anything you build, you got to have a foundation. And a foundation's got to be strong. We've all loved, we've all lost. We've all been there, or most of us. Some of the younger ones may not have felt the love and the loss yet, but I promise you it's going to happen. And I promise you, if they're not lifting you up, they're pulling you down. Period. If they're not lifting you up, they're pulling you down. If they're not motivating you to be a better person each day, then they're not the person for you. I don't care how much you love them. If they're not motivating you to try harder and be better, they're not for you. Yep. I had just said that we were all puzzle pieces. Giga, I actually just said that before you came on. I appreciate that comment. I can't tell you the amount of couples that I sat in a therapy session with and talking to before and after they were married, because I would always sit and talk with them before they got married in like a little a little pre-therapy session. And I'd tell them, if you think this is going to be easy, you're sadly mistaken. There is no fairy tale ending. There is no happily ever after. You got to build this. You got to work for it, and you got to make it happen. There's going to be times you want to quit, walk out the door, and not come back. But if you do, there's no payoff. Nothing easy. There's nothing easy about any of it. We became a microwave society that expects instant gratification, and that just does not happen. Guns, garden, green, and gorilla tape. Hell, not with the gorilla tape. There you go. Some people can't be saved. Yeah, well, it's not designed for everybody to be saved, unfortunately. But you get the ones you can get, and you do your part. Sometimes you got to cut people away. Sometimes you got to pull people in. The world needs what it's got, bro. Nothing happens by accident. The world's still spinning with 8 billion of us standing on it. So we still doing good. To me, every life is valuable. Everybody has a role to play, good and bad. They all have a role to play. Right, right, Paul. And sometimes you got to do that, Liam. Sometimes you got to make a choice: who's good in your life and who's bad. Once again, if they're not pushing you forward, then they're pulling you backwards. I had to cut a lot of people out of my life, and it hurt. I'm talking about lifelong friendships, family members. It hurt, but it was for the best. And I'm thankful for everything I've been through: the breakups, the friendships, the struggles. I'm thankful daily because it makes me who I am. Pain makes you stronger. Right, Giga? I always refer to a diamond. A diamond is created by immense pressure and heat. The same thing with relationships, which is friendships, relationships, whatever. People, extreme pressure and heat. We go through the fire every time we go through something, but you come out on the other side a little bit stronger, like forging metal. Every time you hit that fire, you're going to come on the other side a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser, a little bit sharper. Birds of a feather flock together when it, yeah. Well, that's why I love that poem so much, Brookside, about I ask God. It says, I ask God for strength, I got weakness. I ask Him for riches, I got struggle. At the end, I got nothing I asked for, but everything I needed. And then I love the I'm going to try to do this without getting emotional. I first discovered this poem when my father passed away, but I've always loved Footprints in the Sand. It talked about I was walking down the beach and I got to reflecting. And it says, God, why is it every time I was going through my struggles, I only saw one set of footprints? And God replied back and said, my son, the times you all only saw one set of footprints, it was I that was carrying you. And that poem has always stuck with me and always gotten to me. And once again, I try not to get religious on you guys. I try not to go preacher mode on you guys. But sometimes, hey, it is what it is. What's up, Kennedy? But y'all remember that, man. Y'all all diamonds, man. Y'all all have gone through pressure and fire. And you all are precious. Lost sight of God. We need more preachers. What's up, Everyday Carry? How are you doing, brother? Well, unfortunately, Serafina, I retired from that life in 2015. Yeah, 2015. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. And I like to think I was halfway decent at it. But yep, life is definitely lifing today. I've tried to get away from it myself today, and it just keeps coming back. So might as well have the live that was meant to have, I guess. The last live it started and everything was going wrong, and I had somebody show up and I ended it. I started this one and it fired back up. So let's run with it. I'm not gonna run from it. I always said if the opportunity was presented, I'd speak what I had to speak, and if it helped somebody, it helped them. If it didn't, it didn't. Sometimes I get anxiety thinking about talk with God when the day comes, because some things I have no explanation. You don't, but He does. He, he knows every decision you made. He made you, bro. He knows how you are, what you think. Knows every tear you. He's counted every tear you've ever shed. The Bible tells you that. What's up, Larry? 17 folks in the chat. Y'all double tap the screens. Join in the conversation, guys. We talking about life today. It looks like we're going to that subject. Hey, let's talk about life. You know, if you got something on your minds, let it out. If you're holding something in your heart and it's causing you pain, talk about it. That's what we're here for. Yep. Yep. You're right there every day. He is control. He said, I'm the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end, the first, and the last. Nothing happens that he don't say so. And sometimes that's hard for us to understand. About a thought of not going against the true word. Yeah. But the true word is just that, though, man. Knowing the true word. That's where I always differed from other pastors. Is so much of the American version of the Bible because it's English. You've got to trace it back to Latin root words and things like that, because when you translated into English, there's a lot of stuff that's happened, and a lot of people has twisted it and taught it for so many years that people are just confused. There's stuff that people quote as scripture that's not scripture. I'll give you a perfect example. They tell you about the 7 deadly sins: gluttony, wrath, all this stuff. That's not in the word. The word says 6 things does God hate, yea, 7 is an abomination. Feet that are quick to run to mischief, hands that shed innocent blood, um, so on and so forth. So that's not in the word. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Guess what? That's not in the Bible either. Here's one for you. Any of the cuss words that you hear me say, none of that. When it says that bitter and sweet water can't run out the same fountain, when it talks about not cursing, it's talking about the Latin meaning of curse, to wish harm upon somebody. There's no American cuss word that was ever written in a Latin Bible. The words didn't exist. I got you one. I got a homework assignment for every one of you guys tonight. Everybody likes to quote this scripture here. On this rock I shall build my church. Look up the Latin word for the word rock. Look up what Christ actually said. Well, Paul, I'll be the first to tell you. No, you listen to the Baptists; they got their beliefs. The Methodists got their belief. The Pentecostals have their belief. The Catholics have their belief. Jehovah's have their belief. Muslims have their belief. But if you break it all down and look at the core of each and every one of them, they all have a couple basic fundamentals that every one of them are correct. That's love one another, treat one another with respect, be a better person. Double tap them screens. What's up, 2808? Sorry about that. I'm on a little bit of a tirade today, but it's led me this way today. So pop up back to being the preacher again today. What's up, Carl? But I could tell each and every one of y'all who's listening today, and anybody who watches this video, who goes back and watches this video, as long as there's breath in your lungs and your heart is beating, you have the opportunity to change whatever it is in your life. It's called the past for a reason. You done went past it. You done went through it. Now you're in a new day. And as long as you're in a new day, you can be a new person. There's nothing stopping you from doing anything in your life but you. We need to stop using excuses. Stop using, and I did this in the, it's funny because I was in this in the Zoom class earlier when we were learning about races and how to have multiracial families. And all I kept hearing was excuses. I don't care who you are. What you are is not a stumbling block nor a stepping stone. What you are is not tripping you up, and it's not going to help you step up either. I don't care what color you are, what group you belong to. It's not something that's going to trip you up, but it's not something that's going to step you up. That's you. That's inside you. It's up to you to make them decisions and move your life to where you want it to be. And you can do it if you put your mind to it, because I did. Just got to work. I got it, J Dog. Larry, go to Affordable Cab, CAB 75, and you'll find me. Affordable Cab 75. And it will either say Daniel Carter or Daniel Gianni Carter. I think my Facebook is Daniel Gianni Carter, which is Daniel Gionni and then Carter, Carter. That's my Facebook. Swim with gators. Woo. All right, Larry. We've been going about 30 minutes. I'm going to have to switch this phone on because my wife's about to be traveling home and I don't want her to be traveling without being able to reach me. So if I have to, if the live pauses, it's because I answered my wife, and I'll be right back so y'all don't go anywhere. So if the live pauses, it's only because I went onto the phone to answer my wife. 15 people in the chat. Double tap them screens. Let's go. Like I said, this chat's kind of gone to a day to where we're talking about our our own personal demons we face. So, guys, if you're having an issue, if you feel like you're having a rough day and you need somebody to talk to, there's plenty of people in the chat, man. Everybody in here, hey, we're here. We care. Let's talk about it. Yep, the crew's all here, Carl. Go ahead, get it off your mind, Liam. I don't get mad at anybody about anything they say. As long as it's not harmful to the chat, you good to go, bro. Serafina, you still here? Or did you hop off? Yeah, be safe at work, J Dog, man. Have a good night. Hopefully, you get through and you don't have any problems. That you get through early and you can chill and ride the clock. That's the perfect night. Liam, you know how some people are, man. I wouldn't let it bother me. You know in your heart what you are and what you do. Plain and simple. Because at the end of the day, that person you look in the mirror at, that's who it is, bro. All right, Larry, I'll do the same back when I. Well, I've already. I think I. Anyway, I'll follow you back when I get off live. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't worry too much about what they say. Carl said I was military police. It never bothered me. I think I would have made an excellent police officer. I really do. I made a really good criminal for a while. Just saying. That's what I'm saying. There's always going to be haters, man. No matter what you do, no matter how good you do. Matter of fact, you can measure your success by the haters. If you got a whole bunch of haters, you're doing something right. Because if they're not talking about you, you're not doing it right. If people aren't talking about you, you're not doing it right. When you get them folks talking about you and hating on you, you know you're doing something right. Yeah, you lay in there, you're injured, you're emotional. You know what I'm saying? So of course it's going to bother you. I get that. I get that. You're in your thoughts. You're in your head. You can't get out. You can't. I get it. I'll go a little bit more into Papa's story. I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit more about my life, a little more personal. When I first had the heart attack and the diabetes went so high and I lost some of my abilities, I had a nerve that was pinched, and that nerve is known as the last bowel movement nerve. In other words, that's what releases all your bowels when you pass away. A little graphic, I know. But anyway, I'm laying in my bed in diapers, and my wife's having to change me. And I couldn't get up and play with my kids the way I wanted to play with my kids. I couldn't go shopping. I couldn't go to theme parks. I couldn't do none of this. If I went somewhere, I had to sit in that freaking chair. I felt less than a man. Less than a man. But I kept fighting every day, man. I kept reaching inside. But when you're laying there and you can't do nothing, you can't help but to be in your head. But Life changes like that. Like I said time and time again, tomorrow's a new day. Now I'm 275 pounds lighter. I'm more active than most people in their 20s and have one hell of a life. Beautiful grandkids. So there's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. As long as you wake up and there's blood in your heart, but your heart's beating and there's blood in your body, there's always tomorrow. And it's a new day. Yeah, I did, Larry. I'm picking up a couple of them tomorrow. Got my license changed to the correct address. My gun permits should be in today, hopefully. Should be in the mailbox. And I'm going to go pick up my stuff. And then I got to schedule a trip to Atlanta and pick up my CZ. And drop the old MAV 88 off to have it Cerakoted or Duracoated. Right, and a good red button reset. That's it. That's it. And when I went to the store to get my lighter, of course I picked up the blue edition. Red Bull, all this time I'm showing your cans, you better be watching and get me a sponsorship. Over the years, Tom? Over the years? Hundreds of thousands. Especially if I add the ammo to it. But you're married to a chef. Yeah, I've spent a lot of money over the years on guns and ammo. I've spent more on cars. I've had Mercedes, Audis, Porsches, Jaguars, BMWs, Chevys. Um, did I say Volkswagens? Um, I've spent more in my life than a lot of people ever make. One year I spent 75,000 just in tires. I spent 65,000 in gas. Let's see, 32,000 in repairs. This was all in one year. Oh, I owned businesses, Tom. I owned convenience stores and taxi cab services. I owned taxi cab services from Jacksonville, Florida to Savannah, Georgia, which is altogether 120-mile radius. I own casino style machines from New York all the way down to South Florida. Oh, yeah. I still get a percentage, Tom. I don't work anything anymore, but I still get a percentage. That's my wife, guys. Don't